Hey, Brian from Garage Hall. Today I have this Colamy seat at home office chair. So we are basically going to open it up and show you what's all in it and how to assemble it. And this is the box from all the corners, just so you get an idea how big the box is. And I'm actually filming on my garage bay side of the studio, just so I can keep this elevated to kind of show all the detail properly, and you know exactly how it gets assembled, and also makes it a little bit easier for myself. Anyhow, let's open this up. Okay. So that is a top cardboard layer that we'll take off. To kind of give you an idea, that is what the inside of the box looks like. Take everything out one by one. So it looks like that is an arm. That is another arm. Then there's another cardboard separator that's inside there. And to kind of give you an idea so far, that's about what we're looking at. This is your box of accessories. And as you might guess, that is your bottom of your chair. And there's another, that looks like that is the bottom part of the seat. And this is going to be, it looks like, all right, so that's going to be your seat cushion. So we'll put that off on the side here. And then this should be the back of the chair. So let me tilt this sideways so we can get that out nice and freed. And that is everything that was in your box. So let's take everything apart first out of its wrappers so we can get a real good idea of what we got. So that is your seat back, nice black in color. So this is your seat bottom. So that is that piece for you. Here in front. That's got the base done. Unwrapped. It's got a really nice grayish silver finish on it. And it's packed really good, which is like super nice. So that's totally free of scratches. So we'll just lay that on there for now. Then we'll get each arm undone. And I like how foreshadowing. So this is flexible and moves. So there you go. And it looks like that's in really good shape, surviving transport. And let me just get this open and ready. So this is your seat cushion. It feels nice and soft already. And so that is your seat cushion. Nice and wide and nice and cushiony. Put that back over here. Put the side out of the way. So this is your box of everything that you get inside. Get that plastic off. So you get a tool with it, you get your screws, and it looks like that's an actual really nice tool. Usually they kind of send you just like a little Allen key, but this looks like they've done that right. So that is your booklet. And this is going to be your, so that is going to be your your seat riser and lower, or I guess. And these are all your wheels, your caster wheels. So we'll get them in there. So your instruction manual, and it's like really thin, which is a good sign. So that means it's like going to be ultra easy assembly. And then basically we're going to be following along what is in here. And like I said, it's like one page. So you can't get any easier than that, you know? Okay, so step one, it wants you to place the caster wheels into the bottom of this frame. So we are actually going to move this cushion out of the way behind us. So we're going to have this here, and the casters we are going to be basically pushing in. And they go in nice and easy, just kind of give you more of a bird's eye view, if you say that. So they pop in nice and easy, which is great. Like barely any force, which is a good thing. Okay, so that is your base. You can get rid of that box. Okay, so the next part is they actually want you to put in the little shock absorber. I call it shock absorber. So anyway, that goes in like this. So that's going to be your top part there. So that just kind of sits in there. And as you sit on it, this will get a little bit tighter. So you can expect the seat to probably drop like about like ½ an inch is typically what happens on basically all office chairs. They're designed that way. Step two, it wants you to basically get the seat base, which is going to be here. And it's marked front at the top, so that's really easy to see. And why that is marked front is because if you look on this, this is also marked as front on that as well. So it's kind of like embossed in the metal there. So we are going to put that down, and we're going to lay that on top. And you'll be able to see the screw holes that are on the bottom of the pad. And let me see if I can't get a little bit better of a view. I think we're just going to slide this off onto the side. So it's kind of like resting there carefully. Okay, and then we're going back to our screw kit. So we have 4 screw holes. They're here on the bottom. So referring back to the directions. So it's calling for the instructions, it's calling for a number 10, which is going to be towards the front. And then it's calling for 2 number 9s towards the back. So that gets a little interesting. So the 2 10s are here. And you need probably like a little utility knife or pocket knife or something to get into that. So the 10 bolt is going to be on the front. So let's open this up. And this is pretty much paper thin, so you could probably poke it open with your finger, but so these are number 10s. And we're gonna put them in and start them by hand, really loose, kind of only getting the first, like kind of like the first thread going. Okay. And then number 9 is going to be over here, and then that's going to be the back of the chair screws. Alright, so that goes in there. And then let's get our handy dandy wrench, which is like right here. So again, that comes out pretty good. And what we are going to do is we are just going to basically twirl this around and get that screw in there. Once I get this first one in, I'll show you kind of the bird's eye view. So that's basically how it's sitting on there. And I'm lightly putting these down in there just to make sure that it's tight, but it's not so tight. Okay, let's do the bottom corner. And then let's do this bottom corner. And I'm going to put this down to get a little bit of leverage so I can tighten this down nice and safe. Okay, so that one's there. That one's there. I'll just tighten that front up. And you don't want to over torque it, but you want to make it like, you know, on a snug side. Okay, good. So that's that. So that's your seat bottom. Okay, so that was steps 1, 2, and step 3 is putting on this onto the base of the chair. So pretty simple. You have this little hole right there that you're going to be lining up, and that kind of sits right on there. And I'm going to give it a little press down, so now it's nice and sturdy, and you've got your seat base is basically completed there. Okay, so step 4 is going to be putting in the arms, and you're going to need bolts 11. So again, that is your number 11 spot right there. Get all these out ahead of time, so we're good to go. And then now it's going to be orientation of these handles, just to kind of give you an idea. So this one is going to be on this side here. So you can kind of line up those holes right there, kind of see where that goes. So let's get, and this, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to poke that little bolt right through that hole, so you can kind of see that. And I'm going to use the Allen key to kind of get this started so it holds by more than a couple threads. And then we're going to put this other one in and basically do the same thing. Line up that hole. And then we put the Allen key in. Just give it a quick couple spins. And try not to drop that like I do. And then basically, and I got the dropsies today. Okay. So then this side, we're going to do the same thing. And maybe we'll put 2 hands on this to kind of like hold it. Okay, then we're going to snug that in. Snug that in as well. Then we're going to slide this around, and we're going to do the same thing to this side. But since I've changed the orientation, make sure that you got it facing the right way. And I'm basically going to replicate what I did by keeping this in, lining that hole up, and just giving it a couple twists to get the thread started, so I know this isn't going to fall down. And then we're going to put this other bolt in. And then we got this going. Okay, so that had a little bit of a rough start on the thread, and no big deal. Just took a couple extra twists, a little tighter twists in the beginning. And just make sure that you do have these lined up properly so you don't cross thread. But again, it seems like they're machined pretty well. And then snug these up nice and good. So here, it's starting to look like an office chair. Okay, so step 5 is going to be putting the seat back on. And it says to lay it forward. So this is your seat back, and it's got 2 bolts on the other side that you can see. So it's set to kind of lay it forward. And just make sure you have an idea of the orientation. So we're going to be lining up this bottom bolt at the bottom, and it's a little bit of a tight fit. And okay, I got that first hole lined up, and then the second hole. It kind of protrudes a little bit, so you kind of have to push it together by hand, just kind of like line it up, and you'll kind of feel it snap into place. So it's not leaning forward too much, just to give you an idea. That is the orientation. And what we were going to do is we're going to put the bottom bolt in basically the same way, kind of line it up with the Allen key. And we're going to get a couple threads started on this side just to hold it in place. And then we're going to go on to this side, same thing. This one, I'm going to kind of tilt it back a little bit to make that screw line up a little bit better for me. Okay, there we go. And this is something you might have to do as well. Okay, now we can line up these other two. And you want to kind of pull back on it. And same thing, it'll kind of snap into where that screw needs to go. And then get working on the Allen key. Just get a couple threads going on this side. Now this side should kind of be lined up, but just make sure. And again, this is that top bolt. You get the first couple threads going. Tighten it down. Good. Tighten this one up on the bottom. Okay. Spin that around to the other side. Works so much better when I'm guiding the tool. Okay, so that one's nice and tight. Okay. And that is it. You have a couple spare bolts. Don't be alarmed if you have a couple of those left over. And then you have some plastic caps that you can put over your screw holes for like decoration purposes if needed. I usually end up leaving those out, but again, it's your preference. What I notice is a lot of office chairs, after you've had them a couple months, they get that break-in period, and sometimes you got to get in there and re-tighten it up. So keep this tool in your desk drawer. Caps you can put on at a later date, and then you're good to go. Anyhow, let's bring this chair down, and I will show you how the functionality of everything works. And stay tuned. All right, so this is the chair. It's got a nice little base. These both arms go up. So if you want an office chair that doesn't have arms, or if you want it for more of a relaxing moment, and it has a nice safe tilt to it, so you can like lean back in your office chair, and then it goes up and down. So basically, just take your weight off of it, and then it'll rise up depending on the height you want it, and then you can telescope it down. Anyway, Brian from Garage Hall, be safe out there.